Good morning. Welcome to Flat Earth Early Bird number 2519. I'm your host Arwin, and before I start the show, please don't forget to share it on any platform you deem fit, and if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day, and please also do support me through the gift card. Links in the description box below. That first and foremost, somebody try that out. PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go, also in link. There's some trails, unfortunately. It's kind of a bit of a damper on it, but yeah, it's overall very beautiful. Sunny, birds are chirping all over the place, sun is out. Seems to be just no wind, just nice. Enables you to enjoy the sun even better. It's just this nice yellow sun. I don't know, it doesn't really feel very much like... Yeah, winter sun is usually more white and bright that I can remember that type of light, but I don't know, this winter seems to be a lot of yellow sun. I mean, it looks nicer, but it's not what I'm used to. Hey. Okay. Well, Red Ghost. Yeah, thanks. I'm okay. Oh, okay, whatever. It is Saturday, the 17th of January 2026. Temperature is 11 degrees Celsius with 82% humidity, 8 kilometers an hour wind, and 6% precipitation. Yeah, 11 degrees. Feels really nice. Don't have my heater on or anything. Would be just a nice weather for a walk out, and there's a lot of people walking about too, so yeah, other people actually took that idea. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a really sunny Sunday tomorrow as well. Yeah, and then during the week it's gonna go freezing at night again. Ooh, now the prediction is next Saturday it will be 1 degree Celsius during the day and -4 at night, so it's gonna cool down again. Oh well. Yeah, I've been dreaming. Let's see what's going on out there. Right, the revolution in the US, Marxist revolution. There sounds, or at least from the info show yesterday, like Trump is probably going to use the Insurrection Act. And I mean, he should. There's really a lot of people that agree to that. Like, even some Democrats. They're like, okay, this is getting ridiculous. Like, yeah, I mean, things are getting so ridiculous overall that's just like, it's not just, oh, the MAGA people are snapping out of it. But no, even like some Democrats are like, okay, this, I mean, I know we've been super crazy forever, but even this is, even for me, is just becoming, yeah, ridiculous. Too hot to handle. I mean, it is just literally a revolution that they're trying to do. And it isn't legal, despite what the mainstream media over there are saying. And what these politicians are saying, oh, it's illegal. It isn't. What they're doing is illegal. And it does definitely warrant the Insurrection Act. As early as next week, so yeah. I mean, I hope so, because this nonsense has lasted long enough.
Is this not why you are here?
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a timeout. 5 minutes. You're blabbering nonsense, you're spamming nonsense in my chat. I do not appreciate that. Not banning you, just timing you out. My chat is not your journal where you can just scribble whatever you like. It has to have a point. Oh yeah. Came across this crazy tweet. A bunch of Dutch people, I think. They're trying to imagine a new Netherlands breaking away from Europe, from the EU. And they came up with, yeah, this map here on screen. Pretty weird. Where it's like Belgium, the Netherlands, a chunk of Germany, and Denmark. The United Netherlands. I mean, pretty cool. And I don't know, maybe there's something to it. I mean, if a whole bunch of countries are going to break away from the EU, then reorganization might happen. We might need to like band together. So yeah, I was really surprised to even bump into anything like it. I thought it was like some kind of a LARP, but it appears that, yeah, it is basically a LARP. But I mean, the idea is not entirely ridiculous. So it's just trying to imagine what happens beyond the EU. And like, because yeah, the whole nation thing is really about identity, and it's become a mess. Also thanks to mass migration, but also just due to so much happening geopolitically and culturally. Yeah, so people brought thinking, it's interesting. Yeah, interesting enough that I wanted to post it. Right, but let's see. Oh, RFK Jr. is now initiating a research link between mobile phones, neurological damage, and cancer. Just like, it's like the next step. Like, ooh, that's a tough one, because of the industry, of course. But I mean, yeah, there is these connections, and yeah, if he's gonna dig into that could be really interesting. I mean, he's already like reversed the food pyramid into something more sensible. That's great. Like, he's been really focused on food and like getting the vaccines out. But I mean, if he's really gonna take it even to this part, that is very interesting. Because that is like, it's like the whole phones and telecommunication, it's like much closer to their own, to the MAGA empire basically, and to the control empire. I mean, they really need this. It is like the new level of technology is directly tied into that forms, well, our social media and everything. It's all tied into it. It's all the same group of people that have control over that and that are, yeah, creating that, and we're all tapping into it. And there is like all these problems that have been kind of hiding in the background that I've known about forever. Decades. That's part of the reason why I don't have a smartphone. Very wary of it. And yeah, also psychological. But I mean, yeah, so we'll see where that goes. Very interesting development. RFK does, I mean, he is basically my favorite player in the cabinet at this point. Because I mean, yeah, he has like a weird history and he is a Kennedy. But I mean, he's done a lot of good things. He really has. Like, effectively, his efforts has dragged a lot of the alternative medical developments, which is like all this stuff that has been researched and spread around through the internet in the last 20 years. Because I mean, there's been so much development. It is mind-boggling. It is like awe-inspiring how much has been figured out, developed, and realized about the medical industry. And I mean, I very much tapped into it and I very much use it in my worldview. And it seems like RFK is like really seeing it too, and he's sort of mainstreaming it. Like, he is bringing it really in the mainstream, which, like, despite all the effectiveness and all the detail of development, it's not really happened, right? The medical industrial complex is still holding on to the old formats and just being more about profit and chemical industry and all that, and patenting shit, trying out new weird nanotech, whatever. And so all the alternative has been kind of kept in the background a lot, as much as they could keep it out. I mean, they literally would, during Corona, they would ban people. A lot of people were banned from social media platforms during the Corona era. And yeah, RFK Jr. has been, since he's been president, and even before that, he's really like tapped into it and he's mainstreaming it, which is, I cannot dispute that it's a really important development that he's doing that. So this is like that commands some respect. And if he's gonna really get into this and mainstream it, that would be impressive, because plenty of people have tried and like failed completely. Had it shoved under the carpet entirely. And so, yeah, if he can manage this, I mean, he'll get my applause, definitely. So, because I mean, it's so necessary. There are so many technological developments, and the impact on health, maybe even important on psychology and culture, has been dramatic, and we're all barely catching on. Like, society is very slow to actually catch up onto the consequences of all the developments and technological upgrades that we've gone through in the last few decades. We're barely catching up. I mean, mentally people might know what to do with it, but everything else, all the cultural habits, the social habits, they've all been waned or even completely disintegrated under that. People underestimate that. And yeah, the newer generation, they don't even know what that is. They've never even experienced it. But these are essential social processes that keep our consciousness clean and help us to solidify our own identities much better. And the newer generations, have less of it. No wonder that if you don't have that sort of thing around you, if you're not immersed in that, in these types of social rituals and habits and things, then you'll become less stable, because those things, those influences, provide stability for a person, like on an individual level. And that is a problem. So yeah, it's what it is. And it needs to be honest about. People need to see, like, basically society needs to take another look at all the technology and really have discussions and careful thought. Like, do we actually need this? Is this actually worth it? Is this good? Or is this a negative influence on our culture? And I'm saying this now, it's just not happening right now, this effect, this movement of doing that. But it will come in not too distant future. And some people might be, oh my god, we're gonna walk away from technology. It's like, no. But we will become more careful in actually applying it. Applying new developments. Because every time somebody rushes it, things just go terribly wrong. And it will happen quicker and quicker, as it has been accelerating. And will go so fast that eventually it's like nobody will buy into it. It's like everybody will just say no. A new thing is just immediately boycotted because it's so riddled with issues and tricks. And people will see through it immediately before it even hit the market. Like that sort of thing. That's gonna accelerate, and that will make it stop and make us reform society, where people are going to actually more carefully think about, is this thing, do we really need that? Are we just gonna buy into like some salesman's tactics, like try to stay ahead of the technological curve? Like, is that really what is good for you? All right. Because all the detriments and the medical problems that come from some technology will be more and more exposed and admitted to, because it's forced to do that by mainstreaming it. And RFK Jr. seems to be helping a lot in that, and that's great. It's very relieving, gives me hope on the spiritual level. like this clout chasing, he is just such a gossiping old lady when it comes to that thing. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's, yeah, it's funny, but it right, hope everybody's enjoying the show. Don't forget to Rogan's it up if you are. How am I gonna say this? Wireless radiation damage, and slow down technological development to stabilize society. I think that's a pretty good summary of what I intended to communicate. I mean, these are some serious thoughts. Like, this is like social engineering that I'm really looking at the whole how people are going to do things. because that does happen. Individuals can be obsessed with something like, oh no, more technology, but if it's truly an obsession and it's not actually good for them, then it's not going to catch on to the spirit of the times. Only calm thoughts do. Right? Because only obsession born from true necessity makes a change with the spirit of the times, not just obsession. Really, like, we need this now, truly, or we all die, or it's gonna go to hell, then it will change things, because it's the necessity, right? So obsession, when fueled by escapism, is really detrimental, but when it's fueled by necessity, then it makes a difference. It's kind of interesting now. In a picture around the world of like, yeah, what if there's like millions and millions of people that are all individuals like that all have these contemplations, all have that potential, and they all follow patterns based on I'm talking about processes of imagination, you could say, right? And it's working way better now. It's a relatively recent development, because like even 10 years ago, I always had a lot of trouble actually intuitively understanding and accepting that like other individuals have incredible depth too. And whenever they would show that, always had a lot of the range of simulation of like back engineering it to reflect the depth, and I've become a lot better at it. To just realize like, no, there's tons of people that have a lot of depth and they're all functioning simultaneously in some way, and they are stuck in their own respective ways, like I am stuck in my way, and developing in others, and all that together creates society. And we can think about how this develops, and I am doing that. I am like an open one-man think tank social engineer. I really feel like that. It's like I can do it. I have this capability, and I feel like it's necessary because we're in such a flux. The whole Western world is in such a flux. I mean, basically, we're right in a tug of war. Because we're despite it becoming ever more complex to oversee, and you don't really know as easily what to expect anymore, although in ways you do. But a lot of things seem to be destabilizing rather than conforming to some new standard of logic. It's like the new spirit of the times is established. Like, this is the way to do things. It's like, that's not happening. That's like, it's being tried, but it becomes politics. There's no real stable feel of it, because we are in flux. The Western world is in flux, spiritually. And so there's a need for overview to stabilize, and that I am trying to contribute in doing that. Hello, Zero Drop. And I genuinely believe that just me doing this silly little show with below, and that's not below average, and I genuinely level, not a top-notch show, I know. Is what it is, but it is very genuine, and I will touch on levels that are above average in its depth. I very much do. There's so many illusions that I bypass. I'm very high when it comes to swimming through and past illusions that are integrated. Dude, there's so much illusion integrated within standard society, it's mind-boggling. And it doesn't shock me anymore. I don't have to fight every illusion. I literally can wade through it and still have a new view of what is really real, and on how we utilize illusions and what their function is, because the illusions have functions too. We have become widely dependent on illusions to distract us. Problem is that once you lose sight of that, then you start to think it's real, and then you have a real problem. Now you're delusional, right? But if you know it's not real, well, then you're kind of a fantasist. You just have a wide fantasy. You like to speculate and you like to dream. That's what I am. That I've always been like a dreamer. They used to call me when I was a kid, like, oh, that's a dreamer. He's always like imagining things, and like, yeah, that's what I do. I've always done that. But I can tell the difference, though, between what I'm imagining and how things really work. Usually, dude, what are you talking about? So yeah, that's what I do. I'd love to talk with somebody about it. I mean, whenever somebody inquires to anything that I talk about with what I do typically, or when they ask me a question like an oracle, I mean, people are like, oh, I'm going to ask you a question like an oracle. And they sort of like do it, and it's sort of a joke. Well, guess what? I give you answers that's really serious. Like, yeah, I do actually function like that. You can think of it as a joke, but it's actually really serious. And it's only a matter of time before I get a wider recognition. And it's like nobody will have to say anything. I won't need outside recognition for people to just feel it. talking about? What? Yeah, I'm talking about a lot of things. Yeah, the illusion woven into society, well, it's like false history for starters. The official stories, there's so much falsehoods in official stories, it's insane. And like people like know it. Only somebody like a really young generation that wasn't there at all, they're like, they don't really know. But I mean, even they look into it and immediately figure out like this is nonsense. Illusions, like it is very much integrated, and some people use it in a way to cope. They got invested in it somehow, and then they can't let it go. They can't recognize that it's an illusion, right? But yeah, the world, society is full of that sort of thing, but those things you can't really build upon them because they're illusory. So it doesn't help to, or rather, if you really want a durable long-term development concept or idea, you need to know what is real and what isn't, and then you could still incorporate or try to like control what kind of illusions are you gonna provide to people, or which ones are gonna naturally bubble up for people to grasp onto. Like, what are the illusions going to be that the people will seek out in the new setting? Because it will happen. If you don't provide anything, if you're just only providing the bitter hard truth, well, guess what? Then you basically give the authorship of the illusions that people are going to believe in out of your hands, and it's going to bewilder like a jungle and be not controlled. This is part of the reason why I believe so at least, why they weave illusions into official narrative, is to control it. Because if they just tell you the truth, well, then there will be a whole group of people that won't accept it, and they'll make up their own illusions, and there will be no control over it, because the authorship was claimed by another. Right? Another way of saying is, if you're gonna build a new world, you gotta give them some dreams to dream about. Are those dreams gonna be completely distracting and destructive and delusional and spiritually dislocating, or are they gonna be like reasonable, potentially true, just not confirmed? I'd like to choose the latter. That's what I've been doing, right? That's like my entire project of theoretical cosmology about the flat Earth is like, what could potentially be? And all these things are actually possible. It's like, I really cannot say like, okay, this is completely nonsense. No, it isn't. Like, staircase looping or plateau flat Earth is very, very feasible in my opinion. Like, it could absolutely be true. It's architecturally sound in my view. Doesn't mean that it is true, but it could be. NASA is sending people to the moon next month. That's the illusion. Well, that's part of their illusion. It's part of that, but it's an older illusion, and it's like the reversed world view of reality, physical reality, inside out world, the reversed world, Satan's realm, inverse reality. And I mean, it's just there for people to cope. People fucked up, basically, spiritually in life, and the whole thing with that, it is this in a way, because I personally experienced that at a very young age. That when you fuck up really badly spiritually, and you start to realize that there may be consequences, that you have to like justify yourself to God and all that, well then you want to be able to escape that's even real. So you have to then like embrace something that completely excludes that responsibility, and the way to do it is to completely exclude God, and the developed way for that is the heliocentric reversed world, which there is no God there. It's all naturally developed, blah blah blah, evolution. And yeah, it's all nonsense, but it doesn't matter, because the reason it's there is it like a coping mechanism for people who just can't handle the reality of a God being there, and how much we don't understand and don't know. Okay, zero drop, take it easy. Coffee was nice. Right. Right, but in my opinion, the globe reality and everything about it, it shouldn't even necessarily like be, because some flat earthers think this, like, oh, it should be just revealed and then it should be stopped being taught forever, and then we can all just leave the globe behind us and recognize this is pure bullshit and it's not real, and never give it a second thought. So that's been like fanatical flat earthers. I've met people that really think that, and it's like no, because it has a very important spiritual function. It's a fallback system for people that are like really lost it. They need it. Like, what else are they gonna appeal to when they've lost? But does that mean it should be mainstream? Should it be the number one thing? Now that's where I draw the line. Like, no, I don't like it should be the primary worldview, but it should be there as an alternative. And I mean, dude, globe religion and all that, I think they'd actually do much better if they were the underdog. They'd be less concerned with some kind of like pecking order, power monopoly, social peer pressure games, which is really not good for them anyway. And more like about like, oh, we have to convince the world. And they'll feel more like Da Vinci and Copernicus, and they'll just be more inspired as like, oh, we're in some sort of new dark ages, and we have to like convince everybody again that it's a globe. I mean, they'd all be way more excited about that anyway. It would be a better experience, probably, if the globe wasn't mainstream. Really. It would be way more enjoyable for those people that actually believe it and pursue its development. Because it's the underdog position. Being an underdog is way better than being in control and then like you have to force things on people. It's way better to be the underdog, spiritually. It's less strenuous, less polluting. So yeah, I don't think that the globe religion is going to go away really, for not entirely, but it might be dethroned as the emperor and become secondary. It's like, yeah, there might be something to it. It's interesting, but are we going to take it super serious officially? Nah. And make the real physical reality things, the real measured things, open for discussion. I mean, how amazing would it be to have like actual cosmology discussions on television talk shows? I mean, that would be special. Where people like me and others, and maybe like standard flat earthers that have their own issues, are gonna like lay it down, and then everybody gets to know it up close and figure out like, oh, we're all basically speculating, but now it's okay. Now it's really okay. It's not just allowed on social media and people are figuring it out as a niche, as a struggle to rise up, but rather like it becomes more mainstream and people are like more acquainted with it and its purpose, like why, how it happens, the ideas that are out there, and really figuring out what they know and what they don't know. And it's always been like that. We just were convinced that we knew everything by the globe religion, but it's not true. It's part of their illusion. Yeah, zero drop. No, it's not an escalator. You don't get it. A staircase looping. It's not the staircase that's like looping like an escalator. It's the east to west dimension that's looping. The staircase is literally the solid stationary shape. It's not moving like an escalator. But yeah, it's fine. Alright, appreciate the interactions today. Hope you're all enjoying the show. Got some deeper thoughts. Some good developments. I mean, ever since I got in since I contacted my healer again, that really fixed a whole bunch of things. Ugh. And also, I really feel like the depth of the winter, the Three Kings period, like around Christmas, like the darkest phase in the year, like it's over, and I can like really feel like the spring is starting to call from the distance. You can feel it. It's almost like it's a little mini spring break, but really early. Really feels like that. It's an interesting oscillation within the weather patterns, or rather within the solar patterns specifically of the seasons, right? Like just like there's this spring break peak sun activity in the middle of usually a stormy season. It feels like there's something like that now in the winter, where it's just a little peak of heat, and maybe multiple, and maybe there's going to be a lot more peaks like this, where it's going to go up and down more dramatically. If this trend is going to continue with more of these weird little temperature peaks and valleys, like that temperature rises relatively quickly and then goes down again as just as quick, like little spikes or little bumps. That's a new development That's literally like a completely new development, because from like 30 years ago, like spring break was really the only moment where that would happen specifically. It's like a sudden week where it's a lot warmer, and it would always consistently happen like that around the same time. It seems to be that that's pattern has spread throughout all the seasons. Like this sort of thing now happens more often, not just during spring break. Like this is what I believe. Because there's just so many tiny little weather swings like this now. Always. Like in the last decade, it's been like every year, all kinds of these types of situations. I mean, I even at one point on this show would say, like, I think that the summer is kind of split up in two. Summer seems to start earlier around spring in May, and then usually in July or something, it kind of like goes away. It becomes colder and more rainy, and then in August somewhere it kind of, you have like the second summer, and that then lasts usually deep into September or even start of October. And like that's been happening a lot, and that's new. That's a new development. Like, well, that wasn't happening 30 years ago, but it seems to be happening regularly almost every year for like the last decade. And so there is a change in the weather patterns, in the seasonal manifestation of them. And it has a direction. And I'm noticing more peaks, more valleys, like sudden up, sudden down. More of this. It's changing. Less gradual swings, more. It's still happening, but with it, sudden peaks, sudden valleys. It's more spiking. This is how I think the weather is developing, and why celestial settings. I mean, it is mysterious as to like why it's happening. I'm just establishing I think that this is happening, and I could speculate as to the cause. That it has to do with like the clock of the heavens. Was it always meant to be like this? Is part of God's design? Maybe. Or man, through the spiritual realm, has like meddled with it, or like made a deal with God, the manager of the settings, somehow to change it. But it seems to have changed. And it might actually be functional. It might even be better, guys. Climate change, not because of gases, but because of celestial behavior and settings, doesn't necessarily have to be bad. It might literally be an improvement, because maybe it was set in a way to promote heliocentrist natural view, to keep it as simple as possible, so that there would be less you have to explain away. But if that is kind of like put in the background, well then yeah, maybe the setting for how the celestial weather manifests can be varied widely and basically fine engineered. And so maybe it's just gradually maneuvering into a much more efficient weather setting. Yeah, I mean, I hope you guys can still follow what I'm talking about, but I really believe that there is this change happening. It's not due to gases or industry or even necessarily like wireless activity and all that. It's because of the celestial settings, the non-local hologram of the celestials, the sun, how it does what it does. I mean, the sun output changes. It changes seasonally, and it seems to be more than just seasonally now. Again, spikes in the valleys, sudden shifts. setting has changed. And it will probably continue to change. And I don't know where it's gonna then end. And if it's gonna go back. Or maybe it will just be this. It will just become a lot of peaks and valleys, and that will be how just everybody gets used to how it works. It's like, no, it's always up and down, always. And we hear that it used to be more gradual in the past. But who cares? It's better this way. Right? I should add this to the title too. I mean, it is an interesting subject. Come on. Yeah. Long title again today. I mean, I am inspired. I hope you're all enjoying it. A Rogan's Up would be great. And hey, if you don't really understand what I'm saying, then let me know that as well. And I'll, like, you do not have to be embarrassed if you're like, I don't really, I think I might not really understand what you're talking about. Hey, that's okay. Ask me to clarify something. That's okay. You can do that. You don't have to be embarrassed. Alright, so interesting. You're not gonna, yeah, I mean, I could literally copyright it or trademark it. Celestial weather. Yeah? It's very specific to that. Because there is a celestial component to the weather. I am convinced of it. And of course, there's already recognition like the sun has so much influence on the weather. So, and I mean, the sun is a celestial. So, it just emphasizes the nature of the sun. So yeah, it's a good terminology, I think. Celestial weather shift. I can address this specific subject about the oscillation changes and all that. The weather patterns. I can address that and name it this. Whenever I bring that up, celestial weather shift. Maybe I'll even incorporate it into the description box text. Maybe this is the next hashtag. Yeah, I might put it in there. Yeah, I think I will. Right, 1 hour in. I hope everybody's enjoying the show. I am. Oh, it's good to have LSG in the Discord server. I hope to see the other guys join too. I still have to get any contact from Flatter Sage. Hope everybody's having a great weekend out there. Hope you got nice weather. I mean, maybe nobody's in the chat now because everybody's just outside getting a walk. I mean, that would be good. Alright, but yeah, that's the case. I hope you still might enjoy watching my show later. I don't know, when do people actually watch my show? I mean, those that watch it live, like in the US, that will be very early. But I just wonder how many people actually watch this show when it's not live. And when would you typically watch it? Like, when are you in the mood for this sort of thing? For what I do? I would appreciate some kind of feedback with that. Doesn't have to be right now. It's just, it would be nice if I had some more feedback from my viewers. Not the trolls, of course. Right. I might join Earth Awakenings. Worldwide Debates is kind of like flatten out. Let's see who's in here. Let's see, Cuddles. Goody. So... Oh, there might be some baller stuff happening in there. Oh, Zynax. Goody. I was in there a little bit earlier. It's a bit of a discussion, but... I don't know, I could keep the show short. I mean, why not? I know some people really like it when I have a long show. And I've had a lot of fun with the longer shows. But I mean, it doesn't always have to be long. If it's just short and effective, concentrated, as it were, that can work too. My overall objective is to just make sure that the first hour is filled up and not at least the least amount of like long pauses that I possibly can muster. And then after that it's just like, yeah, I'll see what happens. But yeah, there's this thing, the sooner I round out the show, the sooner I can get to lunch. But yeah, I'm not abundantly hungry right now, so I can still keep going. But I do feel like the subjects that I brought forth on today's show have been kind of concluded. Rounded out. They have manifested in the title. And without somebody directly hooking into it, getting what I'm saying or asking for clarification, well then there's just nothing for me to really keep developing it. It's like if I tap into complicated subjects and I get no feedback whatsoever by anybody, whether they even understand what I'm talking about, my system just like, okay, you're now just like throwing things out and it'll potentially disconnect from everybody, and then it's like the energy stops. The flow stops. Like I have to know it's connecting for it to keep going. If I get no feedback, then yeah, it stops then. What I do, my communication is a two-way effect. If there's nobody to listen to it, it will stop. Like in the very moment it stops. You don't have to like it, it's just the way it is. Anyway. There's so many different things that I can talk about. I got a whole bunch of movies lined up, by the way, to watch, because I've been watching Battlestar Galactica again and I finished the last episode. I'm glad I rewatched it because it's just more eye for detail now that I kind of knew what to expect. I could just look more carefully. And it's been good. I mean, it's a really good series that is definitely worth rewatching. And I'm pretty sure it's not going to be the last time that I've watched it. It is like a kind of a new favorite thing. And it's weird when you know immediately that it is. Right, but I mean, I knew from back then that a lot of people were like, they really liked it. It's just when it came out, I wasn't watching it. It was on, I caught on late. Because of like the drama in it is pretty intense, and it, well, at the time it like the whole president thing, dying of cancer, that, yeah, well, my mom died of cancer pretty much around the time when this series came out. So that's part of the reason why I didn't really want to watch it, because it was getting too close at the time. But now afterward, I can deal with all that. It actually helps me process a little bit of what was happening back then. But back then I couldn't handle it at all. Anyway. I got a whole bunch of new movies to check out, newer, older movies. I get a lot of movie tips from Quantum of Conscious, because that guy, he knows like fun, great, enjoyable movies, older movies, that, and he names things that I've never heard of. And so it's like, oh, well, if Quantum of Conscious really likes it, then I gotta watch it, because usually those are like the more common seeming movies that are really enjoyable. And yeah, so every time he says something, I'm always like checking it out. Every single thing he's mentioned has been pretty enjoyable thus far. So I got a bunch of movies lined up. I don't know when I'll get to it. Looking forward to that. Right, I'm gonna take a 2-minute break and I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Don't forget to Rogan's it up. I'll see you soon. And I'm back, sorry. Stop. Alright, I'm gonna take a smoke. I'll be right around the corner. Come on, guys, somebody Rogan's me up. Or whatever. Hope everybody's still enjoying the show. Thought it was pretty good the first hour. There is a lot of trailing going on. It's kind of like a bit of a haze now up there instead of blue. It kind of saddens me a little. But, well, it is what it is. Sun is still coming through that, so... Oh, there's an airplane. You see that? Why isn't it picking it up? Where is it? So weird. It's just not picking up the airplane. I can see it with my naked eye. It's so weird that it just won't pick it up. It's right over here. Moving into the distance. Oh well. Yeah, it's just not picking it up. So weird. I can still see it right there. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna round out the show. Thanks for coming, everyone. Hope you liked this show. If you did, then please don't forget to Rogan's it up. And if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through the grocery store gift card. First link in the description box, or send me a PayPal, become part of my Patreon, or subscribe to my channel and support me that way. Send me a super chat. Any support would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, of course, follow my channel and all that. And right, hope you enjoyed the show. I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 2520 on a Sunday. Hope to see some more activity then. Maybe we'll start talking about Christianity or something. I always like to bring up God on Sunday. There's the energy for it. Everybody have a great weekend, a great Saturday, and yeah, until the next video, keep it flat.